There was in the 1970s, they came up with a term, politically correct, which was a bunch of dreck. Okay, now for those of you who don't know what dreck is, crap, the S word, which I don't want to use. Anyway, but some guys were sitting around trying to figured out that they can make some money off this politically correct business, but they're trying to figure out how they can do it. I mean, so these, they were basically agitators, community organizers. So they say the best way to do it is to divide the people, make them one against another, make issues and create issues over it. But they had to have some way of getting this thing out to the general public. So they enlisted the aid of teachers. Not so much grammar school teachers, but grammar school teachers, yeah, but they did it in a kind of a subtle way. High school teachers were very strong and vehement about this politically correct crap, the S word. Okay. And then for sure, college professors, they were really into it. And they convinced these people, look, if you teach this, you can make some money off of it too, you know. So they said, okay, we're in, you know, we're in on it. But now they said, but wait a second, people are going to know it's a lot of crap. They're not going to buy into this nonsense. So then they pondered the question, what should they do, what should they do? So they set up a unit, a separate unit, okay, and we'll call them mind snatchers, okay. And what they would do is they would go out and snatch the people's minds, okay. But not only do they snatch the people's minds, they replace the mind with a fart. So now society's walking around with a fart in their skull. Okay, not all, but I think the majority, because from what I hear and what I see, you know, I think the majority of them have been compromised already. And they don't even realize their mind's been snatched, okay? They got the fart in their skull and they're happy as a lark, you know. See, but what it does is they can't reason. They can't think about things and reason what's right and what's wrong, what's crap and what's not crap. Why? Because a fart, as we all know, can't reason. If a fart could reason, would a fart come out when a guy's making a presentation to a business client and all of a sudden you get this explosion with noxious gas coming out? No, if a fart could think, he'd say, well, look, this is not a good time for me to emerge. I think I'm going to wait for this guy to go outside in the fresh air. Maybe there's nobody with him with 20 or 30 yards. Then I'll come out, you know. But no, a fart can't think. So whenever it comes out, it comes out. Okay. So why I'm thinking about this, and I got proof of it. Okay, I'll explain to you. I was sitting with some people, very well-meaning people, real nice people, okay, highly educated people, okay, but they've been compromised. They can't think. They got this thing, la 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 la. Everybody should be nice. Everybody should be good. It has nothing to be good or nice, but see, they've been compromised. They can't think. They got the fart in the noggin. Their noggin is holding a giant fart, you know, so they can't think. The fart can't think, so they can't think. They just go on with a big smile on their face. So I was talking to these people, and I used the word colored people. And oh, they were on me, oh, you can't say that, you know, oh, no. I mean, they were on me like flies on the S word. They're all over me. I said, but why? You know, I think said Booker T. Washington used the word colored people. I think Martin Luther King used the word colored people. You have to check his speeches out to see if I'm accurate, but I think if you do, you might find he did. There's the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. They didn't change their name to NAAPC, People of Color. So these people are telling me, no, you can't use colored people, you've got to use people of color. So I say to them, I said, well, look, and they say groups are persons of color, people of color, persons of color. So I said, look, if one individual of this group of people of color, this person, is a person of color, that automatically makes him a colored person. Oh, no, you can't say that. I said, well, why? Well, society doesn't want you to say it. Yeah, sure, because society's walking around with a fart in their noggin. They don't know the truth. Facts and truth don't mean anything anymore. It's what, you know, la, you know. So I said, well, look, I'm a colored person. I say, and I identify with the colored people, and I can prove it. I say, this is white, okay? This is me, okay? I'm a colored person. We're all colored people. Some are lighter, some are darker, some are mid-range. You know, but we're all colored people. I says, and on top of it, I says, color is, white's a color, okay? No, it's not a color. I said, it is a color. We got a color chart, and the painter wants to paint your house, your kitchen, and he says, what color do you want? You look at the color chart, and there's a nice white. I'll take the white. What's he going to say to you? Hey, you stupid, I asked you a question. Everybody knows white's not a color. Okay, I'm a colored person, and I stand with the colored people, okay? And I'm happy to, okay? People of color are colored people, okay? And there's no two ways about it. It makes sense, it's rational, and it's not derogatory. It's rational, truthful talk, okay? Now, another issue, of course, but rational doesn't mean anything, and I'm sure you're not even buying into it because most of you have been probably compromised. You know, you got the cloud, the smell up there. Okay, now another issue is, with the people, I use the word homosexual, and they were all over me like, you know, like I say, flies on the S word. Oh, you can't say that, they're gays. I said, well, wait a second, what, gay doesn't mean anything. I mean, there could be a despondent homosexual. Oh, no, they're gays, they're not homosexuals, and they want to be called gays, okay. So you can't use the word homosexuals anymore. I said, but there's people who have the name gay. I know men who have the name gay, so you say, who's that guy right there? Oh, that's gay. Right away to people, I think, oh. It's not right to do the guy if he's not, you know, homosexual, you know. So, I mean, not anything bad about it, just not right to do. Okay, so I said, well, I'm a heterosexual. Oh, no, you can't use that word heterosexual either because you're a straight. So I looked up the dictionary, an online dictionary, and a homosexual is a person that is sexually attracted to the same gender, okay? And then I looked up the definition for heterosexual, okay? And that is a person that's sexually attracted to the opposite sex, the opposite gender. And I say, well, that's me, because I like babes. I look on the babe scale, 1 to 10. I don't care if they're 1, I don't care if they're a 10, okay? I like babes. Now, if they're thin, heavy set, doesn't matter. Okay, so I says, I'm a heterosexual. No, you can't be heterosexual. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I can't be a heterosexual because if a heterosexual definition is a guy that likes the opposite sex, okay, then a guy that likes the same sex, okay, conversely, he has to be a homosexual. So they can't have me be called a heterosexual. I got to be straight. They don't want to be called homosexuals. They're gays. So now we get to the point where we have gays and straights, but no homosexuals, no heterosexuals. I mean, it boggles the mind if you had one, okay? Okay, now California, I see, has just changed, just established a transgender law. Now, what a transgender law says is that if a person doesn't identify with his gender, but he identifies with the opposite gender, he has full right to use the facilities, bathrooms, and locker rooms of the other gender. Now, let's say you got a kid in school, boy in school, and he just feels like he identifies with the girls more than the guys, you know, so he dresses like a girl, puts on a nice dress, a nice skirt, it's a nice silk blouse, some beads or something like that, maybe a little low heel because he's a young guy, you know. So that means that he could use the girls' can in the girls' locker room under California state law. And I'm sure other states are going to probably follow because, like I say, most of the people are operating without the, you know what. So they've been compromised. So, and then all of a sudden you got the transgenders, you got the cross-genders, you got guys that are born men that want to go through the sex change operation because they don't want to be a man anymore. They decided, because they got the fart in their skull, they want to be a woman, you know, and then they want the government to pay for the operation. You got the weirdos out there, the perverts out there that are looking for any way they can to get into the women's game or locker room to see what's going on. You got the guy, San Francisco has these nude guys walking around. You got men marrying men, women marrying women, both of them marrying pigs. You know, this was the land, the U.S. of A., the home of the free and the brave. I think we should change it now to the circus of the free and the brave. But you know, we had for hundreds of years, we were able to get by, you know, with the bathroom door and locker room door, one marked men for men, one marked women for women. Now all of a sudden, we need a third door. And I call it other. So you got a door for men, door for women. And then the third door we'll call it other. Big sign in there, other. Now you say, how did you come up with this conclusion? And I said, it's simple for me, because I still got my mind, okay? Now these mind-snatching fart meisters, let's call them, they've been after me. But I've been very diligent not letting them to get me. So they stopped bothering me. They're not going to put a fart up in here.